On the day of the earthquake, the wife of the rescue team captain gave up on me, who was pinned down by stones, and chose to rescue her frightened first love. You're a soldier. It doesn't matter if you get a little hurt. William has been in poor health since childhood and can't do without me. After being rescued, I decided to give her up. So I agreed to the country's CHIP project and went to the Scientific Research Bureau in the mountains to start the research. When the leader saw that I finally agreed, he excitedly held my hand and said, "Great, Ethan. With you here, our CHIP research will surely succeed. It's just that you'll be gone for 6 years. Will it be okay with your wife?" I nodded and said, "Don't worry. My wife will definitely not object to something as serving the motherland." The leader patted me on the shoulder with relief and said, "Okay, with your words, I'm relieved. Time is tight. Is 1 month enough for you to say goodbye to your family?" I smiled and agreed. 1 month was enough. In the back garden of the hospital, I heard my wife's familiar voice, "William, you were frightened. The doctor said you should take good care of yourself. Why did you come out?" As she spoke, she put the coat in her hand on William. That coat was bought with my 1-year salary and given to her. At this moment, she put it on another man. Isabel looked at William with concern all over her face. "Let's go back. It's windy outside." As she spoke, she carefully helped William walk to the ward. On Isabel's face was the distress and tenderness that I had never seen in the past few years of marriage. I suddenly remembered that every time I was sick, I was always alone. I remember the first time I was injured and hospitalized and wanted Isabel to bring me some food. But she was impatient all over her face. "Ethan, my time is very precious and not used to serve you. Don't you like to play the hero? Why didn't I see other people's family members come to serve you?" At that time, I thought she was angry that I was injured while saving people, but now it seems that she simply didn't love me. I was about to go back to my room to rest, but I ran into Isabel and William head on. Isabel was supporting William, and the two were almost stuck together. William smiled at me and said, "Ethan, I heard that you were injured again in this operation. Are you okay?" When Isabel heard this, she rolled her eyes at me. "Who are you pretending for? It's just a few minutes late to save you. Are you so fragile as a former soldier?" I didn't want to pay attention to the two of them and was about to leave while holding the wheelchair, but Isabel's voice rang out behind me. "Some people are just born with a cheap life. There's nothing we can do. Unlike William, he's a screenwriter and makes a living with his brain." I paused while pushing the wheelchair. "So in my wife's eyes, I'm just a cheap life?" I turned around and looked at my wife. "So, am I so worthless in your heart?" Isabel sneered with disdain. "Did I say something wrong? If you have the ability, you can also make money with your brain. If you can't do it, don't be so pretentious in front of me. I haven't seen you hesitate when you were risking your life." I watched my wife helping another man walk away with a bitter smile. Never again. I'll never have the chance to risk my life again. I remember when I first met Isabel, she clearly said that being a soldier was the most glorious profession in the world. How good it is to be a soldier. You can protect the country and build achievements. How glorious. We became more and more tacit in our cooperation again and again, and I gradually fell in love with this sunny girl. Later, I used my connections to bring her a coat from abroad. She happily put on the coat and looked at it in the mirror again and again. "I've never worn such a nice coat. Will it look good on me? Will it be a waste?" "Looks good, very good. As long as you're happy, it won't be a waste." That day, we confirmed our relationship. After the organization learned about this, they waved their hands and transferred Isabel to be the rescue team captain. Although it's not a very high official position, she doesn't have to work so hard and can spend more time with me. When she learned the news, she excitedly rushed up and hugged me. "Great. Ethan. I'm also a team leader. I'm an official too." We were obviously very happy at that time. Since when did all this change? It seems that it started from the frequent appearance of William in her mouth. At that time, I realized that there had always been a first love in Isabel's heart. William was a small screenwriter in the crew. At that time, the organization wanted to make a film about emergency rescue. So they sent screenwriters to the rescue team to experience life and record the daily life of the rescue personnel. William was one of them and was arranged in the wife's team. At the beginning, the wife didn't show much affection for William. She said, "Ethan, a new comrade has come to our rescue team. He's my fellow villager and his name is William. Ethan, William is so annoying. He always holds us back." But gradually, these complaints and nagging disappeared. "Ethan, William is really interesting. He always says that I look like a little cat with claws and teeth. Ethan, it's William's birthday today. I won't come back for dinner." Ethan, William. Our life was gradually infiltrated by William, and the most talked about person between Isabel and me was also William. I reminded her to keep a distance, but she hysterically quarreled with me. "Ethan, can you stop being so suspicious? William and I are just ordinary friends." "Ethan, if there was really something between William and me, would it be your turn?" "Ethan, didn't I just have a meal with William? Do you have to be so fussy?" Until later, she never took the initiative to talk to me again. Even on our wedding anniversary, she was with William. That night, I cooked a table of dishes and waited for her to come home, but all I got was her words, "William is new here and not used to it. He's in poor health and I need to accompany him." She always said that William was injured and was a scholar and in poor health and needed someone to take care of him. I just thought that they grew up together and it was natural to take care of each other. Until that day, when I went to their unit for exchange and study, I accidentally overheard her conversation with her colleague. "If William hadn't been forced to go to the countryside, how could we have separated? Ethan is just my husband. The person I love will always be William. I've had feelings for William for over 10 years. What can Ethan compare with William?" At that moment, I lost all my strength. It turns out that liking someone can really be faked. But no matter what, since she's married to me, I have to take responsibility for her. I hid this hurt in my heart and never mentioned it to anyone. Until this earthquake, I rushed to the front as always. At the moment when the mountain collapsed, I only had time to protect the little girl in my arms under my body. Heavy stones fell on my back, and I was hit hard. Fortunately, there was a beam at the place where I took shelter, which blocked most of the impact of the stones. By the time the stones fell, they didn't have much lethality left. But even so, I was still pinned in a small corner between the stones and the ruins. There wasn't a single uninjured part from my back to my legs. My blood was gradually draining away. As my consciousness became more and more blurred, I saw the figure of my wife Isabel. But she passed me by and ran towards William, who was standing aside. "William, are you okay? You must be terrified by such a bloody scene. Let me take you to a safe place over there to rest for a while." Just as she was about to leave, a member of the rescue team noticed me. "Captain, your husband is in there. The situation is very dangerous." But Isabel just took a casual glance at me. "It's okay. He's a soldier and he often goes on missions. He'll be fine." But the team member wanted to say something more, but Isabel had already taken William and left. At that moment, my heart died completely. Even if she had been willing to take one more look at me, she would have found that my situation was not optimistic. But she didn't. When I woke up again, my comrades were surrounding me. They all looked delighted when they saw me awake. However, when it came to my condition, they all hesitated. Only after my repeated questioning did they tell me the truth. Originally, as long as I was treated in time, I could have recovered to normal. But the rescue team left with another patient at such a critical moment. I was rescued only when another rescue team arrived. By then, I had already gone into shock. When I heard the news, my heart was like dead ashes. I closed my eyes and let the tears roll down. I could no longer fight side by side with my comrades on the front line in the future. During my hospitalization, Isabel was called over by the leader and criticized. Her position as captain was also temporarily removed. Under pressure, she came to see me once. When she saw that I was awake, she raised her foot to leave. "Since you're awake, there shouldn't be anything serious. I'm leaving. William still needs someone to accompany him." Even though I still had a cast on my leg, she ignored me and left straight away. After all, her William needed her more. The day before I was discharged from the hospital, the leader came to see me and expressed his regret. Alas, Ethan. Your body can no longer support you to continue working on the front line. I shook my head with a smile. It doesn't matter. It's also very important to help our comrades manage the rear. The leader nodded. It's good that you can think like this. As he spoke, he took out a document from his briefcase and handed it to me. This is the newly developed chip project of the country. I've reserved a spot for you. Think about it. I took the document, read it carefully, and agreed to the leader's request on the spot. The leader excitedly held my hand. Great, Ethan. With you here, our chip research is bound to succeed. But this will take 6 years. Will it be okay with your wife? I nodded. Don't worry. My wife will definitely not object to serving the motherland. The leader patted me on the shoulder with relief. Good. With your words, I'm at ease. Time is pressing. Is 1 month enough for you to say goodbye to your family? I nodded with a bitter smile. Enough. Seeing me like this, the leader thought I was reluctant to part with Isabel and felt sorry for me again. It's really hard on you. You've only been married for a couple of years and now you have to separate again. If it weren't for that earthquake. Well, you should take a good rest first. Let's talk about everything after you're discharged from the hospital. After the leader left, my doctor came to inform me about the discharge procedures and precautions. It was only on the day I was discharged that I learned Isabel had been appealing recently. She insisted that her decision was right. When danger occurs, shouldn't the people come first? Just because I didn't choose to save Ethan, you want to punish me. The leader ignored her unreasonable arguments and drove her out. As soon as I got home, I saw Isabel walking towards me aggressively. I'm so angry. What's wrong with me saving people? Just because I didn't save you in time, they want to remove me from my position. After saying that, she pushed me hard. Hey! Can't you see I'm unhappy? Are you a dead person? Don't you know how to pour me a glass of water? In the past, I would definitely have patiently coaxed her and then pleaded with the leader for her. But now, I didn't want to. I ignored her and continued to pack my things. Pour it yourself if you want. You're not without hands. She gave me a dissatisfied look and then went to pour herself a glass of water. Oh, by the way, William is sick. There's no one to take care of him over there. I'm going to take care of him for a few days. Okay. Isabel was stunned. Obviously, she didn't expect me to be so easy to talk to. So she softened her tone. Come on, don't be so petty. William and I are just ordinary friends. Besides, don't you soldiers always follow the principle of putting the people first? I'm doing you a favor. I was still packing my things and responded indifferently. Only then did Isabel react. What are you packing for? The seasons are changing. I'm tidying up the house. Okay, then I'm leaving. In the past, whenever she found various reasons to accompany William, I would always quarrel with her. Every time, she would use the fact that I was a soldier and should be considerate of the people to silence me. This time, I didn't care. After she left, I picked up the train ticket on the table. It was in such an obvious place, but she didn't notice it. Indeed, except for William, she wouldn't care about anyone else's affairs, let alone mine. I put the written divorce application on the table and dragged my suitcase out of the home I shared with Isabel. Since you care so much about William, then I'll step aside. There are still half a month left before the departure. I rented a small house not far from home and temporarily settled down. I originally wanted to rent a place farther away, but my leg wasn't fully healed yet. It would be more convenient for me to go to work if it was closer. The second day after I moved in, Isabel came to question me. She threw the divorce agreement in front of me. Ethan. What are you up to this time? Threatening me with divorce? I quietly watched her pointing fingers at me like a shrew and suddenly felt a bit sorry for my past self. Seeing that I ignored her, Isabel started the act of crying and making a scene. If you dare to divorce me, I'll die in front of you. I looked at her clumsy performance and coldly exposed her. You don't dare to die, and you won't die either. If you die, there will be no one to take care of your William. Caught in her true thoughts by me, Isabel angrily pointed at me and cursed, "You damned wretch. I'm your wife. How can you slander me like this? I don't want to live anymore. Have you had enough of this nonsense?" I threw the teacup in my hand to the ground. "You know very well whether you have a guilty conscience or not. If you keep making trouble, I'll expose the affair between you and William." Apparently frightened by me, Isabel immediately stopped crying and stared at me blankly. I won't divorce." After saying that, she stumbled away. I rubbed my forehead in annoyance. Why didn't I realize before that Isabel was so difficult to deal with? After that, Isabel didn't come to bother me anymore, but she would pass by my door from time to time and peek inside. I had no other choice but to close the door as soon as I got home. I originally thought Isabel would be unable to hold back and make a scene again, but unexpectedly, it was William who came first. He sat opposite me, pretending to be weak. Before I could say anything, he started coughing, cough, cough. "Brother Ethan, Isabel didn't mean it. Don't be angry with her because of me." I didn't want to watch his pretentious act and exposed him directly. "Come on, Isabel is still at work now. She can't see your frail appearance. Stop pretending." As soon as the words were out, a hint of embarrassment flashed across William's face. Then he sat up straight. "Since that's the case, let's be straightforward. Isabel and I truly love each other. If you're sensible, get out of the way quickly." I raised my eyebrows. "Oh? Then why aren't you together? Is it because you don't love each other enough?" William's face froze. "Stop trying to stir up trouble between us. I had my reasons back then." "Oh, what does that have to do with me? If you have the ability, go through proper channels and marry her in a grand way." "Oh, look at me, I almost forgot. Isabel is my wife now." William slapped the table and stood up, pointing at my face and shouting angrily, "Ethan, just you wait. One day, I will marry Isabel." I looked indifferent. "Oh, I'll be waiting." After saying that, I turned around and left. Until I left, neither of them came to give me any more trouble. Isabel was even more focused on William. I carried my luggage and set off for the Southeast Railway Station. When I arrived, the leader and the researchers were already there, waiting for me. Seeing me approaching, the leader patted me on the shoulder. "Ethan, we all know about the earthquake. Isabel is really a piece of work. The higher-ups mean for you to file for divorce. She ignored your life and went to save someone else. This is dereliction of duty and a disregard for human life. As long as you apply for divorce, we will definitely help you. What are your thoughts?" I smiled and looked around at my colleagues. It doesn't matter. Working on the front line for a long time is indeed dangerous. This is a good opportunity to take a good rest. Besides, doing scientific research for the motherland is also serving the country, isn't it? I'll apply for divorce once I've settled down. Don't worry about me." Only then did the leader feel relieved. "Seeing that you've thought it through, the big stone in my heart has finally dropped. We definitely won't turn a blind eye to this. Just focus on the scientific research with peace of mind. Yeah, brother Ethan. With us here, we guarantee that no one can hurt you." Looking at the youthful smiling faces in front of me, I felt extremely relaxed for the first time. A colleague who used to go on missions with me put his arm around my shoulder. "We've pooled some meal tickets. Let's go. Let's have a good meal today. Consider it a celebration of our new life." We randomly found a restaurant and sat down. Soon the waiter brought over the menu. The colleague took the menu and started ordering. "Do any of you have any dietary restrictions?" "Brother Ethan doesn't eat spicy food or offal." I was taken aback. After being with Isabel, I really didn't eat these things to accommodate her taste. But now, I looked at the menu and smiled. After getting married, I haven't eaten offal anymore to suit her. The food at home was also non-spicy. Thinking about it now, it's been a long time. Then I pointed to a stir-fried pig intestines dish, "This one, and make it spicy." When I was with Isabel before, she thought pig intestines were dirty and never ate them. She also wouldn't let me eat them, saying they had a strong and unpleasant smell. But the other day when I saw her, she was holding a bag of pig intestines. There was no need to guess that it was for William. She could overcome these for someone else but not for me. I pushed those thoughts aside and focused on eating. During the meal, a colleague suddenly raised his glass. Today is the day we set off for scientific research, and it's also the day Comrade Ethan bids farewell to the past and starts anew. May we all have a bright and glorious future. Cheers. Cheers. I also smiled, raised my glass, and drained the wine in it. Yes, we will all have a bright and glorious future. This meal quickly brought us closer. As it was almost over, someone called us over mysteriously. Hey, let me tell you guys. There's a surprise waiting for us at the Scientific Research Bureau this time. What surprise? Tell us quickly. The person smiled. Hee hee, I heard that the higher-ups will send a beautiful lady to assist us. Everyone made sounds of disbelief and said he was being silly. We're going to do scientific research, not go on a blind date. The person laughed foolishly. You guys don't understand. Girls are more meticulous. With her around, wouldn't it be better than just us rough men? Everyone disagreed. What's wrong with being rough men? Rough men can be meticulous too. After saying that, everyone looked at me. Brother Ethan is meticulous. Not like you, a big oaf. This made everyone burst out laughing, and the meal ended in laughter. After arriving at the research institute, we met another group of researchers sent by the leader. A lady walked out and reached out her hand to me. Long time no see. It took me a while to react, and I quickly reached out my hand. Long time no see. It turned out to be Olivia, my college classmate. We were rivals in college. I never expected to meet her here. From Olivia, I learned about what happened to her after graduation. It turned out that she had been working hard in her original position, and this time she came as the team leader for this scientific research. She looked at me, her eyes filled with admiration, the joy of reunion, and a competitive spirit. It seems we're going to compete with each other here again. I smiled and replied to her, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. The next day, we quickly plunged into the intense research. We almost lived in the laboratory. One day, as usual, I was immersed in the research room when the leader suddenly came to me with a letter. Ethan, what's going on? Isabel went to your previous unit and caused a scene. As he spoke, he handed me the letter. This is written by Isabel. Take a look when you have time. I was busy with my work, so I just replied with an and then forgot about it. In the evening, as soon as I walked out of the laboratory, Olivia stopped me. She was holding a letter in her hand. Ethan, you left something behind. I looked embarrassed. Sorry, I forgot. Thanks a lot. Olivia smiled at me. You really are the well-known workaholic in our institute. You even forgot your wife's letter. Aren't you afraid I'll secretly tell on you? I took the letter. I'm planning to divorce her. Olivia looked shocked. Weren't you two doing well back then? I remember when you got together with her. Quite a few girls in the institute were sad for a long time. I smiled bitterly. We just aren't suitable. Olivia looked apologetic. Sorry, I didn't know. I shook my head to show it was okay. As we walked, we described to each other what had happened to us in the past few years. So it was her who caused this to you? Olivia said. I nodded. If it weren't for her, I should be on a mission in the team right now. But it's okay this way. I don't have to worry about being on the verge of life and death anymore. Olivia nodded in agreement. We kept talking as we walked, and before we knew it, we had arrived at the dormitory. Olivia turned to look at me. I'm here. You should go back and rest too. I nodded. After returning to the dormitory, I opened the letter. It read, Ethan, where the hell have you gone? Come back quickly. I lost my position as captain. Hurry up and talk to your leader. Tell them it was you who told me to save William first. I sneered coldly, burned the letter. Then I walked to the desk and wrote a divorce application. The next morning, I handed the letter to the leader. The leader took it. Don't worry. I'll definitely handle this well for you. Just wait for my good news. I nodded and turned around to continue researching the chip. The research is showing promising results. I believe it won't be long before our plan succeeds. By then, our country's international status will be greatly enhanced. This will be the best reward for us. Olivia and I were immersed in the laboratory all day long. Our colleagues said we were a perfect match. The competitive spirit in us was exactly the same. A week passed like this. When the leader came to me, he looked worried. Ethan, didn't you discuss this matter with Isabel properly? Why is she acting so crazy after seeing the letter? After seeing the divorce application I wrote, Isabel made a big scene in my former unit, demanding to see me. The leader was so annoyed by her that he could only tell her that I had retired from the military. Isabel didn't believe it, so the leader showed her my medical records. Ethan's leg was seriously injured. He can't even handle the most basic daily training, so he retired. Isn't this all your fault? Don't you know that? Isabel still didn't believe it and went to the hospital to make trouble. Did you not treat my husband properly? How could he be unable to serve in the military? You must not have done your best. I'm going to sue you. Ethan's biggest dream was to be a soldier. How do you expect him to accept this? So she knew my dream was to be a soldier. It's a pity that she destroyed it with her own hands. A nurse couldn't stand it anymore and retorted, we don't know why Comrade Ethan can't be a soldier. All I know is that if she had brought him here 10 minutes earlier, his leg wouldn't have been so severely injured. People nearby heard this and also stood up for me. Yeah. Who led the rescue team back then? Oh. It was Isabel. Then may I ask Isabel, why didn't you prioritize saving Comrade Ethan, who was in a more serious condition during the rescue? The nurse next to her spat in her direction. Ethan is like this all because of you. How dare you question us? Hearing this, Isabel's face turned pale. She leaned against the wall, trembling. No, it's not like this. I didn't know. I really didn't know. Isabel pleaded with the leader for a long time, but the leader kept my whereabouts a secret and only asked her to cooperate with the divorce. Isabel disagreed. Ethan is my husband. How can you stop him from seeing me? The leader ignored her and only told her that the materials for suing her were already being submitted. We would be divorced in a few days. Isabel's face lost all color. She plopped down on the ground and mumbled, no, it's impossible. He loves me so much. It's impossible. In the end, the leader contacted William to take her away. The leader sighed as he finished speaking. Alas, if only she had known this would happen. Why did she do those things in the first place? Then he looked at me. You don't need to worry about this. I'll handle it well. I nodded. Thank you, leader. A month later, I successfully obtained the divorce certificate. Everyone congratulated me with happy faces. Let's go out for a meal tonight. It's been a long time since we had a good meal. Okay, I'll treat today, said the leader. 3 months later, we sat down for a meal together again. This time, I had a lot more friends around me. After a few rounds of drinks, everyone was drunk and they helped each other back to the dormitory. I followed them, feeling a bit lonely yet also a bit expectant. Just then, someone patted me on the shoulder from behind. I turned around and saw Olivia with a bright smile. She smiled and congratulated me. Congratulations on getting out of an unhealthy marriage. I gave a bitter smile and didn't answer. Seeing that I was a bit down, Olivia asked with concern, what's wrong? Not happy? Yeah. Because of Isabel? I nodded. I had been with her for 5 years. It was impossible to say that there was no feeling at all. Even though she had never loved me, I truly loved her. Her every word and deed had once been deeply engraved in my mind. It was not easy to forget everything. I sighed, let's take it slow. The most important thing right now is the research. Olivia nodded, let's take it slow. I'll tell you some good news tomorrow. Then she caught up with the colleagues in front. Looking at their backs, I realized that I still had colleagues who shared joys and sorrows with me. The next day, as soon as I entered the laboratory, I heard a cheer. Great. With this theory as support, our research will speed up a lot. Seeing me coming, everyone gathered around. Captain, you and Olivia are really geniuses. I looked at them in confusion. Olivia smiled and handed me the report in her hand. This is the research you did last time. I changed a material. I looked at the report in my hand and was overjoyed. Great. If we make a breakthrough in this technology, our research will be twice as effective with half the effort. Olivia, you're amazing. Olivia smiled and declined, not really. I just summarized your experience. After that day, we worked even harder. Time flew by. In a blink of an eye, 3 years passed, and our research was almost at the end. The leader looked at Olivia and me with satisfaction. It was an extremely wise decision to let you two join. I believe it won't be long before our chip is successfully developed. By then, you will be the well-deserved pillars of the country. Olivia and I looked at each other and smiled. After 3 years of getting along, we had become even more in tune with each other. We could understand what the other was going to do with just a look. The leader looked at us, grinning widely. When are you two going to invite us to your wedding? I was stunned and Olivia blushed. Stop teasing us, sir. The leader laughed and apologized. Okay. I was wrong. But why is Comrade Olivia blushing? Hearing this, Olivia's face turned even redder. I looked at the girl next to me. Over these 3 years, I had already developed feelings for her. It's just that the chip hadn't been completed yet, and I didn't have time for relationships. The leader sighed. Isabel and William have been married for a long time. It's time for you to move on, kid. I was stunned for a moment, then smiled with relief. Sir, you're kidding. I've been divorced from Isabel for 3 years. The leader sighed. Isabel isn't doing well now. From the leader, I learned about Isabel's situation. 2 months after divorcing me, William proposed to Isabel. The two got married in a hurry. Everyone thought it would end there, but who knew that when William learned that Isabel had been removed from her position, he immediately turned cold. I was fired because of your matter. I was counting on you to help me, but now you're also fired. What about my job? I wouldn't have married you if I had known you were so useless. Isabel looked at William in surprise. She thought William really loved her. So when she heard William say this, Isabel was filled with shock. Did you get close to me just for your job? William gave her an impatient look. Otherwise, what did you think? Do you think everyone treats you like a treasure like Ethan? The two had a big fight and William even hit Isabel. Isabel cried and went to the police. When William saw this, he quickly knelt down and apologized. He slapped himself crazily. Sorry, Isabel. I love you so much. This set of words deceived Isabel completely. Isabel even thought that William hit her because he loved her. In her words, why does he only hit me and not others? It shows that he loves me. William said that hitting is a sign of affection and scolding is love. You're just jealous of my good relationship with William. Over time, everyone got used to this and changed from being helpful at the beginning to being indifferent. After hearing this, I couldn't help but sigh. I never expected her to go through all this. But it had nothing to do with me anymore. Let her pay for her own stupidity. The research in the following period was very important. The whole team was on high alert and everyone was looking forward to the success of the chip. I even slept directly in the research room. As soon as I closed my eyes, I heard a slight sound of footsteps. My heart instantly rose to my throat. Even though I knew the research room was safe, I still couldn't help feeling nervous. At this crucial moment, the experiment couldn't have the slightest deviation. Just as I was about to get up and catch the person, a blanket was placed on me. It was actually Olivia. The tense feeling in my heart immediately subsided. She carefully covered me with the blanket and then sat down beside me, talking to herself. From what she said, I learned about her unrequited crush when she was young. It turned out that when I was busy chasing after Isabel, there was also someone who set her eyes on me. To get closer to me, she studied hard just to be able to stand beside me openly. Of course, she achieved it. In our institute, our names were always mentioned together. They said we were well matched and a perfect pair. Unfortunately, I later married Isabel, and her secret love ended like that. It wasn't until I was forced to leave the army and divorced Isabel that she finally summoned the courage to approach me. She said, Ethan, do you know? I knew I was done for the moment I saw you. I thought we had no chance, but you got divorced. Does that mean I have a chance again? I pretended to be asleep and quietly turned over. My eyes gradually became moist. It turned out that I was also worthy of being loved and being treated well. When I woke up the next day, everyone was already busy with their own things. And Olivia also devoted herself fully to the research, as if what happened last night was just a dream of mine. But that blanket told me everything was real. Tacitly, I didn't ask who covered me with the blanket, and she didn't bring it up either. This matter became a little secret that we both understood without words. A year later, the chip was officially developed and put into use. We completed the task 2 years ahead of schedule, and the leader was very satisfied with our performance. We were rewarded with a trip to relax. During this time, the relationship between Olivia and me gradually heated up. Our teammates also really approved of us. So after the trip, we submitted a marriage application. During the period of waiting for the application to be approved, the unit allocated houses and jobs for us. Both Olivia and I chose to be teachers at our alma mater, so we left City A. Just before leaving, my teammates in the army insisted on meeting my fiancé. I couldn't refuse them, so I took Olivia back for a visit. We met at a small restaurant. As soon as my teammates saw Olivia, they playfully called her sister-in-law. I smiled and scolded them. After the meal, Olivia and I walked hand in hand on the path. Olivia suddenly said, "I can finally stand beside you openly." I squeezed her hand. I know everything. I heard what she said that night. The next day when we were leaving, I met William. He was unkempt, with no trace of his former pride. He looked at me resentfully. "Ethan, why do you have such good luck? The women you meet are all better than the last. Why?" He looked at me hysterically, as if that would make me as unfortunate as him. "There's no reason. Because I deserve it. I, Ethan, deserve all the good things in this world. Do you understand?" Actually, I had heard a lot about him in the past 2 days. He was fired from the film crew because of disciplinary issues and could only drown his sorrows in alcohol at home every day. He had originally counted on Isabel to get promoted and help him out, but then Isabel was also removed from her position. William completely lost control. He often didn't come home at night, and when he was drunk, he would beat and scold Isabel. Not long after, Isabel got pregnant. But due to long-term malnutrition and lack of regular checkups during pregnancy, she lost the baby. It was said that the baby was aborted brutally. It's hard to imagine what kind of hell Isabel had gone through. After that, Isabel's mental state was severely affected. She was crazy all day long, holding a piece of wood and calling it her son. William was arrested for domestic violence, but because it was a family dispute, he was released soon after. After he got out, he became even worse, drinking alcohol all day long. He ended up like this entirely because of his own actions. On the day I left, I saw the crazy Isabel at the entrance of the village. She was dirty, and there was even straw and mud in her hair. Seeing me coming, she handed me the black and smelly piece of wood in her arms. "This is my son, my son, my son." Looking at Isabel now, I felt a bit sad. Even though she had done so many wrong things in the past, this wasn't what I wanted to see. I squatted down and tidied her messy hair. She smiled brightly at me, just like when we first met. I took out a steamed bun with meat from my pocket. She used to love steamed buns with meat the most. She said that when she was a child, the steamed buns with meat at home were only given to her younger brother and father, and she had never eaten them. So after she started working, she liked to buy steamed buns with meat whenever she had money. Isabel saw the steamed bun with meat and snatched it from my hand, gobbling it up. I took out a bottle of water from my bag and left all the remaining steamed buns. This was the last thing I could do for her. After doing this, I lifted my feet and left this place where I had lived for many years. Before we set off, Olivia noticed that there were fewer buns and water in the bag and asked me in surprise, "Ethan, did you eat our lunch for today?" Looking at her wide-open eyes, I thought it was a bit funny. No, I couldn't possibly eat that much by myself. I gave them away. Olivia just said, "Oh," and then quietly started packing her things. I thought she was unhappy. Just as I was about to comfort her, I saw her turn to me and ask, "Ethan, should we help her?" I shook my head. "I can't help her, nor will I. She is someone else's wife now and has nothing to do with me. I gave her food and water just out of humanitarianism. I would do the same for anyone." Olivia pouted in dissatisfaction. "For someone who used to be in the army, you have no compassion at all." I smiled but didn't say anything. But the next day, Olivia reported Isabel's situation to the leader, hoping to get her some help. The leader was very surprised to see her. "Isabel is your fiancé's ex-wife. Don't you mind?" Olivia shook her head and said, "Regardless of who she is, I have to help when I see her in such a state. Besides, even if she had something with Ethan, it's all in the past. There's no need to hold on to the past." The leader patted her on the shoulder approvingly. "I really didn't misjudge you, Comrade Olivia. That day when she got home, I didn't ask where she had been, and she didn't mention it to me either. Just like the blanket in the laboratory back then, we understood each other without having to say anything." Later, the leader informed the local psychiatric hospital about Isabel's situation. The psychiatric hospital quickly took her away. "I hope she can have a better life there." The day after the marriage application was approved, Olivia and I held a small wedding in the presence of our teammates and the leader. The wedding was simple, and the people present were all our relatives and friends. I'm an orphan and have no relatives or friends. Olivia's parents divorced when she was young, and she lived with her mother. When she was in college, her mother also left her. So the wedding wasn't grand. Olivia was wearing a bright red cheongsam with a small red flower pinned to her chest. She walked towards me with a big smile on her face. I was wearing the military uniform I wore when I joined the army, with a big red flower on my chest as well. I've worn this big red flower 3 times. Once when I joined the army, once when I married Isabel, and this time when I married Olivia. We bowed to heaven and earth and drank the nuptial wine in front of everyone. In a trance, I saw the beaming Olivia reaching out her hand to me. "Hello, classmate Ethan. I'm Olivia. Nice to meet you." "Hello, classmate Olivia. I'm Ethan. Nice to meet you."